Hello and welcome back to the November 5th edition of Huskies Weekend Recap. I'm your host, Alexis Pearson. The Huskies football team was on the road to take on Minot State in a snowy matchup that ended with the Huskies getting back in the win column. Adam Stage was busy in the first half of the game, kicking 3 field goals, which would be the only points the Huskies would score in the first half. And they would trail 16-9 at halftime. But after the Beavers scored the first touchdown of the second half, it was all Huskies from there. 3 unanswered touchdowns would get the Huskies the lead and the win as they take this one 30-23. Gregory Lewis rushed for a season-high 226 yards, while John Solberg also had a strong performance, tallying 137 receiving yards. The 5th time this season he tallied more than 100 in a game. The Huskies moved to 7-3 on the season with 1 regular season game to go. The men's hockey team got back to their winning ways against Colorado College this weekend. However, an early lead by Colorado College in Game 1 forced the Huskies to push late to get the win. The Huskies trailed by 2 after the first period, and after cutting the lead in half in the second, would get another goal nearly halfway through the third by Patrick Newell, scoring his second power play goal of the season. But less than a minute later, Colorado College would regain the lead. However, the Huskies would score 3 goals in the last 8 minutes of the game to secure the win, including a shorthanded goal by Ryan Paling, one of 2 goals for him on the night. Patrick Newell also tallied 2 goals, while Robbie Jackson racked up 3 apples. Huskies take this one 5-3. The Huskies gave up the first goal again on Saturday, but also were once again able to come back to get the win. Jack Paling tied the game up nearly halfway through the third, and late in the third period, Easton Brodzinski capitalized on the power play to get the game-winning goal. Each of the Paling brothers tallied a point on the night, while David Rennick had a strong performance between the pipes, stopping 28 of 29 shots. Huskies win this one 2-1, getting the sweep on the weekend. The women's hockey team was also in action on the road, taking on Ohio State University. After jumping to a 2-0 lead in the first, scoring goals 14 seconds apart, the Huskies surrendered 3 unanswered goals, ultimately losing 3-2. Julia Tilke and Janina Nyland get the goals on the night for the Huskies as they suffer their 7th loss of the season. The Huskies looked to even up the series on Saturday, but were never able to get a lead on the night. Ohio State scored late in the first to get a 1-0 lead, and the rest is history. Julia Tilke tied it up just over a minute into the second, scoring her second of the weekend. But Ohio State would respond only minutes later to regain the lead, and a shorthanded goal by Charlie Dahlquist later in the second would end up being the game winner, as the only other goal the Huskies would score on the night would come off the stick of Hallie Theodosopoulos late in the third period. Huskies lose 3-2 for the second time on the weekend and fall to 4-8 overall on the season. The soccer team's season ended in the first round of the NSIC tournament as they got bested by the Minot State Beavers by a score of 3-2. Maria Cass and Maria Whitty scored goals about 4 minutes apart in the first half to get the Huskies the early lead, but 3 unanswered goals by the Beavers would put the Huskies out for the count as they finished the season with an overall record of 8-7-4, with Hannah Marriott and Maria Whitty finishing the season tied for first in goals with 7. The volleyball team closed out their regular season as well with 2 3-0 wins on Friday and Saturday. Before they even played a match, though, the Huskies got some pretty good news as first-year outside Lindsay Rachel and junior libero Clara Krenz earned second-team all-conference honors. More impressively, these 2 were the first players in program history to be named the Conference Freshman of the Year and Libero of the Year. On Friday, they took on Minot State. Lindsay Rachel had a strong performance with the team leading 17 kills and 2 blocks, while Taylor Olsted led the team with 13 digs. On Saturday, the Huskies saw similar results with another 3-0 victory. Abby Templin led the team in kills with 10, while Maddie Torby led the team in assists with 36. This is the second time the Huskies beat the Marauders this season, and they close out the regular season with a record of 15-11. The men's and women's swim teams were also in action this weekend, competing at both the University of South Dakota and South Dakota State University. The Huskies weren't able to come out on top in any of the team standings on the weekend, but they had several first-place performances in the individual meets. The men's 400 medley relay and women's 200 medley relay each placed first against competition at the University of South Dakota. On Friday against South Dakota State University, 4 women and 3 men placed in the top 10 in 1-meter diving, while other notable Huskies were Robert Lee taking first in the 100-yard butterfly and Jen Thompson taking first in the 100-yard freestyle. This week's home action includes women's basketball opening up in an exhibition game against University of Minnesota Morris on Wednesday and Saturday against Valley City State. Men's hockey hosts the University of Denver for a NCHC showdown Friday and Saturday. On the road, men's basketball is down in Mankato for the MIAA NSIC Challenge, and football travels to Minnesota State University Moorhead. Women's hockey will be in St. Charles, Missouri, taking on Lindenwood University, and wrestling will be in Mitchell, South Dakota for the Dakota Wesleyan Invite. As always, you can get tickets at scsutickets.com and tune into UTVS at 4:30 Monday through Thursday for local news in the Granite City. Thanks for watching.